At a minimum, it should work better than it has. I'm not saying like this could be a title team, but it should be better than what it's been.
It felt like the T-Wolves came out of halftime, loaded up, ready to go, played inspired, got on that big run to start the third quarter to make it a close game, and then it just petered out, and they end up getting run out by the Washington Wizards. And all the while, Towns goes down, can't put any pressure on his leg, suffers a calf injury in the middle of the game, which is probably the best case scenario given how it looked when he first went down. But that whole Towns thing kind of took away from the fact that this team is downright bad defensively. And it's a team that mortgaged its entire future to get what they thought was the best defensive player that they could possibly attain in Rudy Gobert. But we're a quarter of the way through the season, and it just hasn't worked. I know they had that, short little win streak, but if you go back and look at that win streak, I mean, they're playing a lot of depleted teams.
Meant nothing.
No, they're playing depleted teams when they were winning those games. And now you saw them blow that Charlotte game, and then just recently we watched them against that Wizards team last night. And so it's going to be interesting to see if they have to play for some amount of time without Towns. But still seems to me like a lot of guys unhappy with their plight. Edwards isn't particularly happy with his plight. I'm sure Gobert's not happy with his plight. Towns, for sure, is getting regularly frustrated before his calf thing last night. And so, I don't know. And the Wizards are better than I thought they were going to be, for sure.
Yeah.
It could have been one of the surprises,
well,
even
at
500.
It's because Kuzma's way better than Jay Crowder, right?
I mean, look, when it gets to the playoffs, we can discuss.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But I mean, so like that game last night with Minnesota, there's something wrong. I mean, like there's something fundamentally wrong, I think, with the defensive communication. I think it was one of the first buckets KP scored. It was maybe a minute into the game, where the Wizards ran a double high screen with Porzingis and Kuzma setting a screen, and both Gobert and Towns followed the guard curling towards the middle of the floor and left both Kuzma and Porzingis open behind the arc. It was just like a really weird, strange defensive coverage with how both bigs did what they kind of like intuitively feel like that they should do. And then like Kuzma's open, both of them close out towards Kuzma. And then Porzingis is open for the swing. And Gobert is like has to be there late after closing out to Kuzma. Like usually you X out in that situation. One guy closes out to Kuzma, the other guy goes to Porzingis. They both went towards Kuzma. I think a lot of this is due to Towns needing to adapt to playing the wing. More so, and like, of course, I'm not blaming Rudy, like that's what you'll say, but more so than Gobert. But Gobert is supposed to be the low man. There's been so many times this season where he's pointing out defensive coverages in transition where he's getting the low guy, but then somebody else isn't picking up the wing. They're taking the low position instead. And whether that's Gobert's fault, Finch's fault, Towns' fault, it's everybody's fault. But there's just something fundamentally wrong with the build of this team with two bigs, with what they intended to do and thought they could do versus what they've been able to do. And I mean,
who could have seen it coming?
Well, I mean, listen, like, part of me wonders, is Tim Conley, seems like a very good general manager, has made great decisions over the years. I wonder if there's any part of him that made this deal knowing that it might not work out with the intentions of flipping Karl-Anthony Towns elsewhere. It's just been a thought on my mind because like everybody knew there was a chance it wouldn't work, right? Like we all agreed. I like the deal because I like Rudy Gobert. I like what he brings defensively. I like what he can be offensively when he's on high pick and roll.
He has less blocks than Walker Kessler.
Yeah, but to the point though, Chris, I wonder if Tim Conley in that front office made the deal with any thought in the back of their mind that I know this might not work, but we want to move on from Towns anyway. We can't win a championship with that guy. I wonder if that was the mindset.
No way. Oh,
No way?
Wait, hold on. Can't win a championship with that guy, so you go get the guy that's been ousted in every playoffs? What the hell?
Yeah, but it wasn't. But can we at least agree it wasn't all Rudy Gobert's fault in Utah?
No, it wasn't all of his fault.
There was no wing defense on those teams.
He's also a terrible pairing with Edwards. He just is.
Yeah, but
it was always going to be.
Yeah, but why? Edwards, why?
Because the best thing you can have when you've got somebody like Edwards is guys that can space the floor. That's the best thing you can have. He is unguardable. Unguardable. He's too big. He's too strong. He's too fast.
So you want them to be like the Houston Rockets with Harden, with 5-out spacing, ISO.
I don't think you always have to be 5-out. I don't think you always have to be 5-out. But
so you think the Wolves could have won a championship with Edwards and Cat as their two best players?
I don't know. I don't know if they could have won a championship. But look, Edwards is nowhere near being that guy yet. But again, you tried to speed this up. How many times have we talked about it? It takes time for all of these guys. And so you take the guy and then you build out. Yeah, I would look at it and I would have decided my best player, my future of my franchise is Anthony Edwards. And I am going to make every decision from here on out based upon how these players will fit through the prism of Anthony Edwards and what he's going to be in 2 to 3 to 4 years. Because that's when you're ready. That's when you're ready. Edwards isn't ready. He's still immature. He can't even play back-to-backs without.
He can't even throw a lob.
No, he stands in the corner with his hands on his hips. Like, people are posting this, like videos every other night of them coming out of a timeout and him he might as well be just sitting down.
Yeah, but that's on him.
In the corner.
I know, that's on him.
Again.
You got to grow up.
I'm with it. I understand, Kevin, but what I'm saying is that guy is not ready to be the best player on a great team yet. He will be.
Didn't it feel like he could have been?
Speed it all up.
Didn't it feel like he could have been there in the playoffs last year, though? He took a major leap in that series. He was unbelievable.
He was great.
So I can understand them trying to accelerate things because you're like, okay, we're investing in our rising star young player and giving him the best lob threat, the best interior defensive player in the league as a teammate. I mean, to me, it's about Cat and Edwards need to grow. Edwards needs to grow as a playmaker. He needs to become more consistent on defense, take some accountability. Cat, you have to learn how to adapt and play more on the wing and make smart, focused decisions on defense and learn to play your role now that you have Rudy Gobert protecting the back line. In theory, at a minimum, it should work better than it has. At a minimum, it should work better than it has. I'm not saying like this could be a title team, but it should be better than what it's been.
Well, you mean giving up 150 points to the freaking Wizards? Yeah, I think it should be better than that.
Yeah.